Hello everybody and welcome back to my TV Extra channel, where we take a look at things that we never watched or listened to before. Now, one thing I haven't really had too much of a chance to get into on this channel is Marvel stuff. So I've covered a couple of Deadpool trailers, so you'll have seen those. But I am quite a big Marvel Cinematic Universe fan. I've seen almost all of them. For some reason, I haven't really watched the Thors or the Black Panthers, but I've seen a lot of the rest of it. Including WandaVision, and I really enjoyed WandaVision because it's just so different to everything, and it was a start of, I think it was a start of Marvel allowing the TV or Netflix series to just have a play with the format and to being something a little bit different, and I think that set the path for a lot more playfulness in what was to come. So WandaVision was so out there, but so cool and so well filmed, that I think it was only really because WandaVision was so well received that something like Loki did as well as it did, for example, because Loki is another one of those things where it really played with timelines and skipping backwards and forwards, and showing you things that you shouldn't see and should see. And I felt like WandaVision did a lot of the same. One of the weirdest things to come out of WandaVision for me was Agatha, who had been kind of like this supporting character all the way through, that sort of acted as though she was under the spell that everybody else in the town was under, but actually she wasn't, and she was kind of a bad person. And she gets her own show now. So I don't really know too much about it. I know that they had a bit of fun with revealing the name of the show. They kept leaking different alternative versions of the name, and then they finally announced that it was called Agatha All Along, which was kind of funny because it was Agatha all along, and I think that was kind of what they were going for with the name. Now, if you've watched my channel regularly, if you've watched, for example, the Young Royals reactions that I did, or a couple of the song reactions as well, you'll have noticed that I've mentioned before that I am a massive Heartstopper fan, and of course one of the only other things that I know about Agatha All Along is that Joe Locke is in it, and I don't know anything about what character Joe Locke plays, and I don't know anything about what happens. I haven't read any of the source material for Agatha All Along, from the comics or the graphic novels, so I'm really going into this quite blind. So let's see what's coming up. There she is.
Another beautiful day.
Surprised to see you out here, detective.
She's a detective.
Found her down here by the water.
Cause?
Blunt force trauma.
What happened to you?
Well, this isn't how I was expecting it to start.
But I can't shake this feeling I'm seeing it wrong.
Is this really how you see yourself?
That witch is gone, leaving you trapped in her distorted spell. Claw your way out.
Oh, so she was still like in Wanda's visage. See, it's playing with the format again.
I miss the glory days. She took every bit of power I had, but I can beat that witch again.
Oh, so it's about her getting her powers back.
Well, the gang's
There he is.
Let's hit the road. I'm gonna walk the witch's road. The road is a death wish.
So is this like her coven? It looks like it's her coven.
Join me.
witch in her right mind would join Agatha Harkness's coven.
So it is a coven.
Not looking for right-minded witches.
So Joe is kind of goth emo in this. It's kind of cool. Suits him actually. We haven't really heard much from him yet.
As it happens.
Sweetheart, you okay? Oh my God! Where's she going? Where's she going?
Oh, when was that? September the 18th, 2-episode premiere. Okay. So, it looks like this is going to do something that Marvel always like to do. In fact, a lot of sort of superhero films, I know this isn't really a superhero film, but a lot of that sort of genre like to do, which is to reframe someone who was in a film as a bad guy and sort of see them as maybe not so bad. So it looks like this one's going to take Agatha, who, you know, came across quite bad in WandaVision, and sort of reframe it to be she's had her powers stolen. How's she going to get her powers back? And we're going to probably end up rooting for her, I'd imagine, by the end of it. So it looks like she gets together a coven of witches and wants to go down the witches' road, which I presume is the way to get your powers back if you've lost them, or the way to get powers if you never had them. I don't know. I'm sure they'll explain that to us. In terms of Joe Locke, it looks like maybe he's part of the coven, or his character is part of the coven. He's kind of emo, gothy, painted nails, guy liner. It's slightly shorter, tighter, darker curls. They almost look like, because he has quite dark hair anyway, but it almost looked like they dyed his hair even darker than usual, or maybe CGI'd it. I don't know, or I don't know, color corrected it, something like that. But it looked darker than it does in Heartstopper. But we didn't really get much of an idea about what his character does or is, but it looks like they're quite important to the plot. And I think this is going to be... It looks like from that trailer that there's going to be quite a few moments of horror in there. Maybe this is kind of Marvel going into the horror genre. And I think I read that there was a film coming up that was kind of a horror film. I don't know if it came out and it just fell under the radar, but I know there was something slated to come out that was meant to be a bit horror-ish, but I've never seen it if it did come out. But this certainly looks like it's going to go down that path, and I think if we're getting a two episode premiere middle of September, then to me that suggests that the end of this season is probably going to come sometime around Halloween, which would be pretty cool. I know that Disney do like to stick to their weekly release schedule on Disney Plus, unlike Netflix that do like to just put everything up straight away for binge watching. So I'm not going to be able to binge watch this one, but actually that might make this one a better one to react to, because I won't be so far behind everyone. That was the problem with Young Royals. I ended up being 2 or 3 weeks behind everyone, and trying to avoid spoilers was not fun, let me tell you. But yeah, maybe I'll cover it, maybe I won't. I will definitely be watching it either way. Let me know what you think. But otherwise, thank you very much for dropping by, and I'll see you again for another reaction video very soon.